Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, a fatal shooting calls into question if protection orders work. We'll tell you what we found. Plus, the need for resources rise as eviction moratoriums expire. Plus, flights across North Dakota were canceled due to a computer error. Valley News Live at 6 starts now.
This is Valley News Live at 6.
We start with new information, a sad development in the search for a missing teen in the Northern Valley. 18-year-old Neil Kemel went missing last night near Cavalier. The sheriff's office issued a silver alert to help find him because the young man was autistic. A short time ago, the Pembina County Sheriff's Office told KFGO that his body was found today in the Tongue River, which isn't far from his home. The effectiveness of restraining orders has been called into question by many in the valley this week after a fatal shooting in Castleton. Cass County Sheriff Jesse Johnner says 58-year-old Randall Burton was shot and killed early Monday morning after he broke into a woman's home through two locked doors. Court documents show Burton was ordered to have no contact with the woman due to an ongoing domestic violence case. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley breaks down what options victims have with protection orders and why one woman says they're much more than just a piece of paper.
Calling it just a piece of paper is I think it's a little disrespectful because there's a lot of hurdles they have to jump through to get just this piece of paper.
In order to be granted a civil protection order, a victim has to document the abuse or threats they've received, file it with the court, appear for a hearing, and hope the judge grants it. Something the Rape and Abuse Crisis Center says, unfortunately, doesn't always happen.
Sometimes they freeze, sometimes they can't express what has happened to them when their abuser is sitting right in front of them. And it's heartbreaking because then if they can't do that, the judge has to deny the order.
At least 800 protection and restraining orders are currently out and active just in Cass County alone, according to the county clerk's office. A number both local law enforcement and advocacy centers say is just too high for them to do daily or weekly safety checks on. But both Barnack and law enforcement emphasize that doesn't mean survivors are left behind.
And I always advise people that if this person were to come back, don't hesitate on calling 911. That's what it's there for.
Being able to know that they can do something to make this situation stop, I think is very powerful for them.
Sergeant Dawkins says it's important for neighbors of victims to look out for any suspicious behavior and says if you have fears your abuser may be in your area or could violate your protection order, officers can be requested to keep a heavier presence in your neighborhood. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
If you or someone you love needs help getting out of a domestic violence situation or need consults on how to file a protection order, you're urged to call the Rape and Abuse Crisis Center at the number on your screen. That's 701-293-7273. All right, it was a beautiful day outside, and Nathan is here to tell us what we should expect for our weekend. Nathan.
Well, thanks, Nishay. Happy Friday, everybody. A beautiful evening in store for us. So if you've got those plans, they're looking very good at this time. Take a look at this, our Grand Forks home of economy Skycam. The setting sun there with mainly clear skies there in the Grand Forks area looking off toward the west, at least where the sun is setting. But bright sunshine there. As the sun sets here in about 20 minutes or so is when that sun finally does dip below the horizon. Now, here's how things look in Fargo at this hour. Air temperatures still in the 40s, 44 degrees that air temperature, 45 there in Moorhead, 40 the wind chill. So that north wind around 8 miles per hour, just enough to make it feel like 40 degrees. But also note that dew point, 27 degrees. I do expect on a night like tonight where it'll be calm and mainly clear, quiet, for the air temperature to fall to near that dew point temperature. So another night tonight where I'm expecting some 20s for us tomorrow morning. But air temperatures right now in the, well, say 30s and 40s, 39 in Baudette, 39 in Bemidji, 37 in Langdon. A few of the cooler spots at this hour, 41 in Grand Forks. I do expect things to get pretty chilly once that sun finally does set. And take a look at this, 36 in Rolla already, 37 there in Langdon, 39 in Fosston and in Bemidji. But of course, seeing a few clouds here or there, mainly across our northern neighborhoods. The good news is high pressure will stick around for our Saturday until Sunday is when I do expect some changes, though. So, of course, Nishay will break down in detail what we can expect for our weather pattern here in a couple minutes.
At least we have a calm Saturday before everything else starts.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Nathan.
Yeah.
Many of the eviction moratoriums across the country have been lifted, leaving residents with no place to go. Here in the Fargo-Moorhead area, there are a number of resources available. Leadership with the Lakes Prairies says there has been an increase this month with locals needing help. Some are having their utilities turned off while others are getting evicted.
The real focus is on eviction prevention, trying to keep people in their homes and to get ahead of some of the evictions. And also make the landlords whole too, because we know that there are lots of landlords that haven't gotten their rent paid. And we want to make sure we're connecting them with that resource too.
For more information on the available resources, visit valleynewslive.com and click on this story. In 2020, COVID-19 drastically impacted the biggest shopping day of the year. Going to the mall for Black Friday bargains meant social distancing, sanitizing, and wearing masks. This year, the pandemic is dealing with another challenge: shipping slowdowns. Some stores are already stocking up on stuff for Christmas just in case supply becomes an issue later on. And West Acres Mall is making some changes this year. According to the mall, they'll be closed all Thanksgiving. They will be back open on Black Friday from 7 in the morning to 8 at night. Hours at some stores inside will vary, and holiday hours this year won't be extended as much as they used to be. The mall says they're trying to make their holiday schedule convenient for shoppers while also supporting the stores and their staff. The North Dakota Department of Health is opening up availability of booster shots of the COVID-19 vaccine in response to CDC recommendations. COVID-19 booster shots will now be available to people who previously received the Pfizer, Moderna, or Johnson & Johnson vaccines. The decision also allows people to mix and match vaccine brands for their booster dose. In North Dakota, booster shots will be available to those who are 65 and older or have underlying health conditions. Booster doses may not be available until later next week. To date, over 36,000 North Dakotans have already received 3 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. The North Dakota Health Department said today at least 1 student and 5 school staff members have died from COVID-19 since the school year started. There is some light on the horizon. The number of infections linked to schools dropped significantly last week. Experts say that's a promising sign.
Even when we do start to see that leveling off, I think a lot of us in the healthcare space are worried that it may still sort of take a long time before we get back to the nice levels that we enjoyed over the summer.
During the week of September 19th, infections peaked among staff and teachers at nearly 3,000. According to the Minnesota Department of Health, there were only 1,000 cases reported last week alone. The state is offering more rapid tests in response to an uptick in the infections. Bad news for travelers. A computer glitch resulted in the cancellation of flights across North Dakota. Hector International Airport told us 7 flights were canceled between both arrivals and departures in Fargo. The affected airlines included Delta, United, and others, and some flights today still showed delays. According to a statement from Delta Airlines, a technical issue affected flights operated by Delta connection partners SkyWest. Delta said they're working directly with customers. SkyWest has more than 235 destinations across North America. 5 flights across 3 airlines through Bismarck Airport were canceled. Minot and Williston airports also saw some cancellations. Later on Valley News Live at 6, North Dakota farmers are looking forward to next year's growing season.
Only made it into the 40s today. Some clouds kept our temperatures limited, along with that north breeze we saw. 48 in Fargo, 46 in Grand Forks, those high temperatures. But a cold one in store for tonight. We'll break down your weekend forecast next.